Hey everybody, Shay here. Welcome back to another blind reaction to Naruto. We're in a crazy circumstance right now where I'm a little bit confused as to where I am in the narrative patterns framework that I've been using up until this point. I've been talking my way through this along the way in the intros and outros just to kind of see if this still stitches together in some way. But I feel like I'm in this nebulous territory in the last few episodes where I do feel like there was a handoff, a very clean. It was like explicitly stated from the person on the field, the judge, or I don't know his name, but where he tells Sasuke that it's basically like he's passed. Just like the tournaments are over. It continues the tournament to some extent. And so it's like this soft continuation, but at the same time, it felt like a hard severing. And then, of course, the Orochimaru getting brought back into the narrative and going up against the third Hokage really did also kick off another set of events that it feels like a lot of extra pieces are hitting the field, and not in the sense of our characters, because our characters feel like they're still flowing through what the tournament arc should have been about, the whole preventing of war and why it exists and whatnot, and they're kind of concluding that to some degree, but it's like real life now, as in this isn't a test. These aren't, even though you could kill people in these tests or whatever, but what I'm saying is like, regardless of whatever that wrapper was, if you remove it, it still feels like it's in that flow, but we might be in this sequential system or serialized system at this point of storytelling where things are weaving. And I think I might have touched on that as well, right? Where now that we have characters going off towards the village and they're giving us now a Konohamaru plot, like this little subplot, it's like you don't really do that kind of stuff in a phase 4 of a narrative. You don't introduce new plots that you're going to be telling. You're supposed to be wrapping things up, And so I do feel like there's potentially an overlap happening here, and I'm not sure how the arcs happen, how they work in the Naruto series. I don't know if there's like official spots and that's planned, or like in the early reactions, I believe people were talking about like it's not really possible because things weave. This might be what people were talking about. Like the deeper you get into the series, there's so much interweaving that you no longer have stopping points, and maybe there's like no such thing. I've only gotten the arc concepts from people in the comments, right, that have dropped things and said where things technically stopped with the episode 19 and whatnot, and where things started. So I don't know where the stopping point of this piece is here, but I'm talking my way through the 60s at this point, and like I said up front here, like what am I expecting now? Well, if this is a phase 4, then I need things to start resolving like this episode or next. Like this is where like that arc should stop, but part of me is I feel like that severing already happened before the third Hokage and Orochimaru fight. And then there's also like the summoning of the undead. I guess the dead dudes, they're not really undead. I mean, they're undead, but they're summoned dead dudes, but they're conscious. And they're the old Hokages, 1 and 2. And he said like, don't, hopefully the third coffin doesn't raise. And why? Well, there's got to be some huge reveal there. For me, it's like, it's the fourth Hokage. And I believe like we were given that context that it's Naruto's father when Jiraiya gets introduced and Jiraiya's passing by a wall or something. There's like paintings on the wall or something, and I noticed like the fourth painting or something like that. And I was like, okay, that's probably the connection, but it was subtle. So I don't think Naruto knows that. I think the audience already knows that, or at least I'm presuming that. And even from a narrative standpoint, it might be like holding back of these reveals. Might be that big like reveal later on in some bigger arc. I'm not sure. But in any case, whether that third coffin comes up or not, I don't know. But now I'm really feeling strongly about Jiraiya getting dropped back into the plot. And like that still would work on that phase 4, like where you bring in all these pieces together and executing on a climax and a resolution to the arc. But at the same time, the village is getting attacked. Like that's like the start of something. That's not the end of something. It could be the end of something if it wraps up. But there's too many pieces in flight now that I can't see this wrapping up. So either the calculation has been completely wrong, which means all of my last predictions and what phase I was in, all of that's been lopsided, and somehow I've navigated it and made it work to some degree with the way I was deconstructing things against my assumptions, and now I'm a little bit loopy. I don't know where I am. So we're gonna jump into the episode, see where it goes, and see if anything becomes clearer to me. We're gonna do a skip, of course, and a pull back. The name of the episode I didn't get, but maybe they're like skipping past the name of the episode intentionally now, Let's see. So we get through here. Okay, no. So we're gonna get the title of the episode this time around. I know it's flickered on the screen, but I didn't catch it, and I'm okay with that right now. I mean, everyone's chasing everyone. Oh, worth calling out, because I called this out a couple episodes ago, where I felt like I marked the phase 1 to phase 2 transition, right? Which was they they do the exams in the class exams, and then they take the class exams to the forest, and then the forest stuff starts happening with Orochimaru. But after Orochimaru, it's like they get the scrolls and all that stuff, right? And the forest motif is a very much an Act 2 thing. So this is also throwing me off. They're back in the forest, which means they're kind of searching for themselves. It's usually the symbolic representation of characters navigating through a forest, is they're actually navigating through themselves, or like they're on the journey to discover themselves further. And it's usually the handoff point of a new quest. And that's why this is throwing me off, because like symbolically I feel like it's also aligning to the start of something, and them coming out of the forest, right, and possibly entering the Leaf Village, which is where they're headed. But like coming out of the forest is going to be the journey phase. This is why like this is maybe mapping, it's messing me up a little bit. But it just might be my bias, right? I'm adding things that don't actually make sense, and that's okay, because I'm recording all these in one session, one massive session.
I get it. I guess Sasuke got all impatient.
Bro, everything's a drag. That dog is legit flying. That dog is not. Yeah, no, he's flying. They just turned a 90-degree in like flight. They could just get on a toad. Why do I keep saying toad? Yeah, I literally just got the. What is it? A shirkers. What's a shirker? A shirker's call to action. Lay about no more. I can't read into that title at all. No idea. I don't know what a shirker is. Shirking your responsibilities, maybe? I don't know. With Super Pug on the move. I think it's a pug. Maybe it's a bulldog. I had a pug. So, another bias. No, the ears are too long to be a pug. It's a mutt. With soft paws. 9.
Give me a break here.
I see. So the dog is launching out trees, but I'm seeing flying dog. That's what I'm seeing. Whether they are. Whee! What's this? A mark for them to follow? For who to follow? Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
It looks like they haven't
Yes.
discovered our location.
What? This right here. Discovered our location yet. We need to lose them. Okay.
Ah, what's the deal? Why are we stopping?
Going back over our footprints. If we pull this off, our footprints will seem to disappear.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but they're tracking.
Gonna do anything?
They're tracking your
I mean,
footprints
they'd have
on the
to be pretty
trees, though.
lame ninja if they-
It's gonna look like to them, but they can't be that dumb. I mean, the guy's literally on one of the branches. Oh. Yeah, I don't think they would screw this up. Come on, man.
They're definitely back on our trail.
Okay, so that was useless.
They're
Now
probably all-
we'll
be wiped out if they catch us.
will there be another
Listen, guys,
rule of threes in
we
play
don't
here,
have a
maybe?
choice. An ambush.
Counter ambush.
That could work.
I mean, yeah, it could actually. Okay.
My guess is that they're all Jonin level.
Oh, that's just like one rank
that would
above. Well,
The level of an opponent doesn't have much
Okay,
to
okay,
do
okay.
with an ambush, does it?
Wait, what are you talking
getting a
about?
surprise on them, and they got 2 tacticians on the team right now, man.
For it to
Here he
work,
goes.
we have to meet 2 conditions. A ninja on the run must be completely quiet. Number 2, they
Okay.
have to be able to catch the pursuers
Yeah.
off guard.
Yeah,
quickly,
flat foot them.
and then-
Guerrilla style. Got it. And now we got the smarty pants here to maybe put the pieces, put the actual plan together.
Find our enemy.
Maybe? I don't
The
know.
second,
Okay.
However, Orochimaru is a former leaf ninja. So on the second condition, we're out of luck.
So
So we know
trackers.
all the cards we're holding?
Well, I don't really know.
She might be able to
I
rigmarole
suppose that
this.
ambush could give us an advantage.
Too many
Besides,
variables,
our
and-
enemy is a special unit that was specifically put together just for this operation. And what are the 4 of us? A fool,
Maniacs.
a kunoichi with no particular talent,
Oh.
a mutt.
Hey, I see.
the shirker
Told you,
who
it's
doesn't
not
even
right.
wanna
It's
be
not.
here.
That's not.
They're about
Just
to
lazy
tough
ninja.
situation and
That's what you
formulate
wanted to
the
say
best
there.
plan.
Mutts are supposed to be
And that
healthier.
is-
Nice. A little bit of a
So one
deception.
us is gonna stay behind
Okay.
and slow them down.
So it's gonna be the lazy
One
one.
of us will be a decoy.
Oh, we
That's
clone.
right. If one of us can
Guess
delay
shadow
them,
clone.
they shouldn't be able to
And
find
keep
the rest
moving.
of us. Of course, the one who acts as a decoy will probably
Dun dun dun. Just shadow clone it, man.
die.
That's almost certain. He ain't wrong. Gotta make a call. I mean, it could just be a clone. Just shadow clone it up, bro, and leave one behind. Why can't? He was running through all of town with them all over the place. He's like he can obviously separate them. Huh?
So, who's going to do it?
Shikamaru. Okay, well there.
So that means
Eesh, he's gonna stay behind.
All right, I guess that I'm gonna have
I'm
to.
the only one
Yeah,
who can do it.
there it is.
Shikamaru!
Why does it have to
Oh no! Don't you dare! Don't you dare! Because he would know that's like strategically that's the only option he has. I mean, not that he could probably throw Sakura under the bus, to be fair, but at the same time he's likely already thought about all the reasons why it would make more sense for him to be the one that stays behind. So he already knew the answer.
I'm the only
He's got Shadow Clone, but he'll exhaust.
surviving this
And then,
attack.
I don't know.
I mean, after all,
What?
Shadow Possession Jutsu was invented as a delay tactic. Anyway,
He could just keep freezing
I'll
people
catch
who
up
might
with you
kill him
later.
and keep buying himself time.
Get going.
Damn. Like if he can clone himself too, it might help
We're counting
with
on
that
you,
version. But
Shikamaru.
jeez Louise. Oh man.
Sakura.
Damn. Huh. That better not.
When did Shikamaru become this dedicated?
I don't know, man. That better not be a death, man. That better not be a death, man. I'll hope that pans out. I'm sure it will. But that really, because I can't think in phases anymore. I'm trying to really see this as the last phase here, but even that was even all of this is, it feels like a setup to me, right? Like I feel like I'm in a completely wrong pattern at the wrong time, so I might need to start thinking about these in clusters at this point, which is okay. I'm okay with that. Don't get me wrong. I want to keep going. I can still provide that analysis on the characters' arcs and stuff like that too, right? Now he might know that to do this on purpose.
Trace the signs
Yeah.
of your passage.
So they're scouting marks and stuff like that.
Listen.
I forget what that term for that is.
I wonder if he's even trying back there.
Oh, come on.
Shikamaru will be just fine. Got it?
Tell me that he just ran away.
No, come on. Also, I feel like, like there's sometimes the logic of their powers inside the narrative don't make sense, because that was a scenario where Naruto could have just shadow cloned just for a little bit of time, and he'd still get his energy back along the way, but he could have like shadow cloned and a bunch of footprints would appear everywhere. It would completely throw things off. He sent them all across the forest, and you see what I'm saying? Like he would easily have dispersed all of these ninja, and we wouldn't have to be in this predicament, right?
No. He's always
Storytelling.
talking about he would never betray us.
Doesn't mean there aren't gonna be apps. That's
I
all.
know, but if he says he's gonna do it, then he'll do it. And
Right, because otherwise people wouldn't be joking about plot holes and stuff like that. Like, they exist for a reason. Because sometimes the pacing of something, or the reveal of something, or the way that you want to increase drama and tension, you're gonna leave plot holes behind sometimes, because the pacing. We got some doubt there. Okay, so we just got a doubt here. That's a very Act 1 thing for anyone to do. So I really do feel like I've transitioned at some point. And what's happening is that it's blended. The series has blended something here. Because what she just did there is what happens before the quest gets locked in. It's you have the protagonist deny something, right? Like they don't think they're capable of something, or they don't believe that the plan is going to work, and they really doubt themselves and their ability to move into the catalyst, the moment where that Act 1 becomes an Act 2, or Phase 1 becomes a Phase 2. I'm doing it again. I'm trying to stick to one, but in any case, you know what I'm saying? Like this might be a transition phase, man, for something new, man. So let's just keep going. Let's see how long she sticks to that, and see maybe how this morphs, and then maybe I'll be able to key into that transition. Yeah, got away. So it's maybe
His footprints are irregular.
But then-
Anxiety is
But then the dog prints. How are the dog prints in there? If the dog is with the other two, how's he doing the dog prints? Is he faking that? Because that would go back to the dog saying, "You can touch my paws." That'd be crazy though. But I don't know how he's doing it. That's crazy. That'd be crazy. That's what the show does, though. That's what the story does. It'll always call back, man. Huh? How's he able to do that, though?
Oops.
Oopsie doopsie. Can he get all of them? By the way,
Didn't want to get involved.
he has his son to his advantage still.
Everything, I'm
He's got the forest shadows.
Everything else, you're wrong.
He's still wrecked. It looks like he's still wrecked from the fight, man.
This
There it is.
what I used to make the paw prints.
Unbelievable. Is he losing? His chakra is fluctuating. So this is it. This is his moment. So you can lock him up for as long as his shadow paralysis lasts. Uh-oh.
But I'm afraid you're behind the times.
Uh-oh.
Now it's called Shadow Possession Jutsu.
I see. I don't know what the...
Man,
I was like, when I was saying paralysis, I'm like, that's not what I
chakra
remember.
depleted.
Yeah. He's still wrecked.
I used too much chakra.
Like, how is he going to get out of this?
And now I can't hang on much longer.
Oh my god, is he going to do it? Would he do it?
8. Wait a minute. 8.
No, there's one more.
Oh,
That's
no.
9 ninja following us.
It was the one behind them that was following the arrows.
Goal is to protect against
Yeah.
an ambush.
Oh, man.
Person stays a distance behind
Oh.
the ambush, a reserve, in case of
Look
an
at that.
attack.
Nicely done. Nicely done. Now what? So they're moving, which means he's starting to weaken up. Oh my god, he's...
This will draw out that ninth ninja and reveal where he's hiding.
Will he actually do it? Oh, because he's gonna stop it. Right. Damn. So now he knows. But now he's screwed. Now he's like for sure screwed.
There he is.
Now what? Oh! Okay, no. That's it. He just get wrecked right now by the ninth. That's it. Oh man. They wouldn't just end him like this, so that'd be boring. But he'd be on physical alone, right? Unless someone comes in to save the day or help. Does he get powered by the sun? I don't think so. Oh, he's just like contemplating his doom here. The lazy. I'm gonna die the laziest way possible ever. Oh wow. Oh.
I'd marry a regular girl who's
Wow.
not super pretty or super ugly.
Oh.
Have 2 kids, a girl and a boy.
Oh.
Retire when my daughter got married and my son became a successful ninja. And spend the rest of my days just playing shogi or
Oh
go.
my gosh.
A nice, carefree
Oh, the cloud. Remember the whole the name of his episode.
And then I die of old age before my wife.
Wow.
Yep, that's the life I wanted.
Oh.
Yet
Oh.
I had to go and get myself into this sticky situation.
Nothing complex. Nothing busy.
You aren't chasing us anymore.
Sorry.
Awesome!
That's it. He
Shikamaru
blocked him.
succeeded. The delay
But him succeeding means he's probably dead.
Shikamaru! I'm sorry I doubted you.
Yeah.
Even a little.
I'm not even sure. I don't know how.
As you say, it
'Cause-
appears I'm
yeah.
at my limit.
Because we weren't given any evidence that he can fight. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I have nothing to go on right now. Someone has to come in and help, man. And I don't see it being Jiraiya, because Jiraiya doesn't have a connection with the character, and that would just be a random, like, throw-in. Like, it just feels like that would have been jumping the shark a little bit. Not really, because he's part of the plot already, but it just feels like that doesn't make sense. I don't know who else it could be, man. I know who it is.
And when you do,
Ashino?
cut off his head.
That's not Shino. Oh my gosh, what's up? Oh, I would not. I wouldn't have guessed that. It's a sensei.
Asuma, how did you?
I mean, Shino's still in play. Oh man, no, that person, he's dead. He's dead, dude. Oh no, he's dead. Of course. Because I mean, none of these are like really good. They're Jonins. That's what they said, right? Junins. So at the end of the day, But wow, did that ever turn things around fast? We never really got a highlight of this guy in action. So they're giving us a little bit of time with him. I don't think I even got his name. Do I have his name on my list? Asuma. I do. Asuma Surutobi. I spell it the way it sounds, so I might have that wrong. Okay, it settles that. I bought just enough time for him to show up. I know he's just wrecked. Shino was with, I've got Kurunai written down. That was a long time ago. She hasn't played a part for a long time. That's Hinata, Kiba, and Shino. But he is in play, and he did leave the other scene, which means maybe he plays a part in whatever's happening here, which is odd again. It's odd again because it's even more odd now with the pattern system, because Shino, although the camera went to him a couple times in the scene, he might be following them as a shadow or something. But we never got him fighting even. Like, he wasn't even part of the tournament, so we didn't get any extra fighting exposition for Shino during the phase 2 and 3. And so if we're in phase 4 and Shino disappears, it's like, well, what's he doing now? Like, we didn't get any context of what Shino's contributions to this plot outside of when he fought on the simpler fight. And so if this is now something new, we got Shino as an element that's been seeded. Let's say this is the first phase of another 4-phase arc. Then Shino is being set up to be more important in this cluster of episodes. So when he pops up, it would be a phase 2, because that's the journey and the adventure and more information on the field, right? If we're in something new, Shino would be the new element in this dynamic right now, where just everything is moving. And so it's harder for me to tap into where we're at.
No, 3. Kokoro, we've got to go faster.
Oh, 3 would be the dog, Sakura and Naruto, and they might be including the dog in there. Oh no, 3 would be what? Wait, pursuers would be. How does she say that? Did she say 1 and then 3, or did she say 2 and then 3? Let me just go back.
We have even more pursuers. 2. No, 3.
That's weird. Because they should have, Sasuke should be the closest one to them right now. So her saying 2, no 3, where did she get, how does that work? Because that would mean there would have to be someone as close as Sasuke to them, but also someone just after them. After Sasuke and the second one. Or the numbers are just weird there, the way that she said it. Something right now doesn't add up. So there's been 1, no 3 would have been the correct way to say that. Sam? You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, they're not counting the dog, because she can't detect the summoned dog, maybe? And so, but even that would be 1, no 3, because it'd be then Sasuke, no, Naruto, and Sakura as well, that kind of thing. Does it matter? Does it matter? Dog doesn't matter? Are we done? We're not done. Oh, where are we right now? No, we're at the end of the episode, so that's what I mean. This is too much information to drop so early. So late. Yeah. How does this play out when they're summoned against, well, I guess it'd be against their will, but at the same time, it's weird because they'd be summoned at these coffins, but it almost feels like what's actually happening is it's like it's a version of Shadow Clone on the deceased. That's more likely what this has to be. It's not actually their bodies. That's what I don't know. Well, and then whatever those mean might be the items that binds them, that makes them have to follow the commands. Well, we're just gonna try. This is gonna be the cliffhanger here and the drop. Yeah, bam, done.
Now then, shall we begin this?
Yeah, this is gonna be a crazy fight. I mean, that's a crazy escalation. That's crazy. So that's where we're at. And like I said, throughout the episode, I am a little bit disoriented in terms of patterns, which is okay. We're going to move on past that. I'm still going to try to pay attention to some of the signals just so I can kind of speculate on what's directly in front of me at this point. I don't know if I can speculate much beyond that. And because I'm recording so ahead of all of you, I don't really have a way to be confirmed, to have anything confirmed or denied by the audience, which is also okay. I still got a couple hours to go in this session. And I don't like to get too ahead of the audience, but in this particular case, because there's so many things moving, I would like to try to just push on a little bit further and just get a massive backlog here to see if I can get to a more like an end that actually feels like an end, or if I feel like I'm going deeper into just pure narrative chaos. Not in a bad way, but like so many moving pieces that I can't possibly know where I'm at in terms of a pattern thing. Then we'll just, I hope you all stick around for not the pattern talk outside, like at the macro scale, but I can still talk about it in terms of where I am in the more micro scale, right? In the blocks of episodes will still feel like they have a beat structure to them, and I can deconstruct things along the way in that regard. Or I might start focusing more on the characters themselves, because now I'm getting a lot more nuance to some of the personalities, and now the senseis are getting involved. We're getting some more context from them. There's a lot of characters on the field, and so it's going to get very difficult very fast if they start giving too much information on everybody, which is what this series does well. It doesn't do that. It gives things in like clusters. In like a 5 to 6 to 8 episode cluster, you might get the 1, 2, 3 characters. Sometimes it's just a focus on one, and you get really nuanced, like we did with Neji, and we got a little bit of Shikamaru background now in the last couple episodes. A little bit of Garba. We already got a little bit of Gaara, but not. I think that still has some room. We're still going to get a big dump for Gaara. I think Gaara's narrative is going to have to hit. If I were to say, like, where are we in that Gaara phase arc? We're reaching somewhere in the 4th phase, because what we need from the Gaara arc, because he had his defeat, right? So if you think about from the character perspective, you think of Gaara as its own storyline. You have a scenario where he got the shield, he got the cocoon around him, and maybe the morph was happening, and that would have been the win condition, right? And so you've heard me mention it before, right? The false victory, right? The false victory being at the 50% mark usually, and that would have been the Gaara's narrative arc there, right? Is you have something where he gets to the point where, from his perspective, he would have been victorious if he had the win condition succeed. But because it got stopped by Sasuke, that becomes a defeat. You reverse, right? And now he'd be in his 3rd phase, which means we still have a 4th phase for Gaara. Part of me is like, he's such a vital part of this particular cluster of episodes, wherever the hell that these might be from a macro level arc perspective. And so Gaara's arc would have to go through whatever that phase 3 would be, which would be the false defeat pattern. And the way that works is that he would be getting defeated, but in his defeat, there's some sort of awakening that makes him become victorious. So maybe over his identity, maybe the struggle becomes more within, or his escalation maybe it does escalate. Things do go crazy, and he does like activate whatever the hell that thing is inside him. But maybe his defeat becomes the victory, and his then phase 4 would be the resolution of that, and Gaara still remains a player as opposed to maybe getting destroyed like Haiku or the Demon in the Mist, right? Because we know this series is fully capable of taking characters out of play. Do you know what I mean? So I still feel like maybe we'll have some event like that where if I get like another like a major death or an almost death, that might also be a pivot point for me to know where I am in this particular cluster. But if I were to guess right now, I feel like we're getting a lot of setup, is what it feels like to me. We need to be given a catalyst, and that catalyst of like, now we know what our mission is. It might have been the Shikamaru holding the fort for them. The plan worked, and now it's like, now we're halfway there, we can get to the village, and that might be the handoff to maybe an Act 2 here. I'm not sure, or phase 2. Right, so curious to map a series in this way, because I've never done a super sequential series, because I've usually watched things that are baked into like traditional Western seasons, and then they do have that arc because that's just the way things are planned right from the get-go. Whereas when you're doing a manga conversion into anime, especially a long-running manga, and I know this eventually has fillers, but for all intents and purposes, the manga itself may not break into these very organized, structured arcs, right? They will weave because that's the nature of that medium. I've never done it long enough where I've seen that sort of happen inside anime, and I'm kind of working this out with you, kind of restructuring how I deconstruct based on these patterns. Though they still exist, right? But it's like very curious and very exciting to kind of see how I pull this off, going into the next couple episodes, and maybe my discovery along the way of where I might be here might be answering my question of like, if we did start at that one point where he's like, the tournament is over, go do your thing, if that becomes the ending point, which feels right to me, then I will be able to start mapping from that episode or the episode after that, which was what, 68? See that what I mean? Like I'm losing track of numbers because I'm not tracking the numbers while I'm recording this long session. So I literally don't know where I am right now. I know where I am in the Netflix seasons, but those don't map to the Naruto sequential numbering. So I've already lost track. I think I might be somewhere in the 70. And this is going to sound weird. I'm saying it now and you're hearing it, you're seeing the title below. In any case, wherever I am, I gotta reach a point where I multiply that by 4, and maybe I can start to restructure around whatever I feel like I've just entered, and I can kind of go on that mapping. Like, I feel like this is close to a handoff to the quest, but he said we're halfway there, which tells me there could still be a disruptor there. They're not at the Leaf Village yet. I'm not sure what the next episode could bring that could get us to an Act 2, and they left us on a cliffhanger where the third Hokage is going to fight Orochimaru and the first and second Hokage. So that battle alone might be something that takes the attention away for a bit, and based on the title of the next episode, it does feel like that's what's going to happen. And so that's going to be an episode that they're going to spend on that. But it's not about the fight happening. It's the context of the fight. It's what is going to be said by the Hokage while they're fighting. That's what we need to be paying attention to, because that's going to be potentially what will set up the seeds of narrative that would be the phase 2 transition. Cool? So I'm going to catch you in the next episode. Don't forget to explore, engage, and inspire, buddy. Peace.